Grounding others and just remember the benefits that they have as being part of GPS STEM. And GPS STEM stands for Professional Success for STEM PhD and postdoc. And I'm actually going to hand things over to kick us off and kind of do a little bit of background program to our academic.
Thank you, Lauren. It is great to see so many people. I think this is the most crowded orientation we've had in 11 years or so. Program started as GPS Minded. I was the founder, and I got this final grant from NIH. Best program. I was so happy to be able to so that's what happened like 11 years ago.
It's been good.
So, there's now some programs to give students better opportunities for preparation events and also putting it to council to the times out of the lecture. But I also found over the years that I'm a helpful person to talk to about those conversations that you may want to or be afraid to have with supervisors as you navigate the career exploration. And I guess the first thing to say is that at UCI, we have a culture of supporting students and postdocs in whatever career they're consistently doing. Obviously, we love to send people out into the academia world. That's why we're here. It's supporting career. Understand it's not for everybody. And people have different ways of using their skills, finding fulfilling, rewarding careers. And I would say that the majority of the faculty I know are fully aware that most of their trainees will not stay in academia forever, and that they need additional training and experiences will help them identify transitions. However, it's not, so students don't always feel like they can approach the faculty member to talk about them. And so I think a great tool for doing that is to include your discussions as part of your individual development. You'll hear today about the MyIDP, which is something that we ask all people to do when they register. And in your departments, at least for graduate students, most departments are going to require you to do annual IDPs. And I think a lot of students and faculty sometimes look at this as just another chore, another piece of paperwork. I don't view it that way. Nationally, it's viewed in career development as such an important part of your journey to maintain your academic goals when you're going to write those manuscripts, which conferences you're going to go to, which classes and workshops you're going to attend. But you also need to use the IDP to sprinkle in the professional development activities. And if you start early in your relationship with your mentor, meeting regularly, at least twice a year to talk about your IDP, and you're focusing on those academic aspects that are benefiting the lab and the PI in your advancement for the program, that gives you a lot more respect and I would say a bit better terms to start those conversations about professional development activities. A lot of what we do offer is just a short half an hour, hour-long exploration seminar, and nobody will notice if you're gone for half an hour, but some of the offerings might be, 1 hour for 8 weeks, or it might be half day site visit or something like that. So if you just show up with the PI and say, oh, I'm going to take next Tuesday off to go to a site visit, that might not go over as well as, okay, this quarter I'm going to be doing this for the papers and for classes, and I'm thinking about doing some professional development activities that might take me away for an hour here or half a day there. And they can see that you're thinking, you're not just demanding, you're really focused still on your academic accomplishments and efforts. So that's really all I wanted to say is that, most faculty are supportive, some a little bit less so, but all can be convinced to support you. That's our job as mentors, to help you succeed here and after, and we take a lot of pride in it. So again, thanks for coming, and I'll turn it back over to
you. Okay. So what is GPS STEM? Why are you here? What do we do? I'll share a little bit This is kind of our overall mission, and we know you're here to do good research and to become great scientists, engineers, mathematicians, pharmacists, whatever it might be. But you don't always necessarily get the other part of professional career development, this other skills you need to make UCI feeling confident, being polished professional, knowing that that transition is going to go smooth, and that's where we step in and we support your departments or schools with providing that additional support. So like David said, your faculty is there to make sure that you are getting accomplished in your academic activities and you're moving forward, and we're here to make sure that when you transition, you feel ready in that other side. Okay, so we do that in a couple different areas. Explore, train, experience, and transition are 4 pillars that we work towards to help you achieve and feel ready to meet your goals outside of UCI. And you do become a GPS STEM member, and if you were in here, you saw a video of how steps to become a member, and that's completing my IDP and submitting that. And you take skills, interests, and values assessments in just a couple of minutes and then kind of think through. And it's great to do this at least once a year if possible, but just kind of we have you do it so that you're thinking about why you want to attend professional development events. Why are you coming to do site visits and other things? And so you're coming forward with intention in that part. And other one is having LinkedIn. So how many of you already have a LinkedIn? Yeah, so you already have the other requirement to become a member. So you all can just become members, and that gives you access to some of the exclusive events like site visits, certificate series, and other reach benefits like, and I'll go through those free DCE courses. But just to give you a sampling of kind of the events that we do, put on there. That's all right. I must have but we do things and they're on the side over there, but explore, like David said, we'll have career nights where we did like science communication. We brought in experts in science communication and writing. They did a panel on networking, so you can explore what that looks like to go into that area. We'll do life planning PhD. We have someone from Bosch and Bloom coming who has experience in biotech and pharma. She's coming at the end of October to share what that journey is like. 20 years post her PhD, what transitions did she take, and what opportunities are out there. We'll do things like train and improve on your skill development, like leadership, business. How do you work towards entrepreneurship and develop those types of skills? Even just managing procrastination, those types of skills that you need to learn. Experience, so we'll do site visits, experiential learning. We're working with a local company in Irvine to put together project-based internships for science communication, so you can do medical writing, and those would all be part of the benefits of just participating in GPS STEM, and then helping support that transition. So you all hopefully will be members, and then you have connections with each other and can explore what you all are doing. And we have 10 years of history of alumni from the program that have gone in every which direction that you have access to, and bring them back for networking and for events as well. If you aren't sure if you're a member or if you want to become a member, you can scan the QR code there. But essentially, a lot of our events might be open to all doctoral postdocs in your school for some of the events, but other ones are going to be exclusive for membership. And again, that's free. You just have to do the IDP and LinkedIn. And you get free DCE classes like project management, regulatory, data science, marketing, and strategic planning. Lots of different ones you can do to expand and diversify your skill set from what you're getting in your courses through your program. Exclusive employer events, a lot of the times those are capped, very innovative. So in summer, we did a local startup, and that was capped at 20. And so that went on to our members so that they could attend. Exclusive certificate series like science policy, effective mentorship, and then member-led initiatives, which are really cool. So we have quite a few of our trainee council members in the room, and GPS STEM, part of the membership base too, is that we try to be student-led in the sense that we want to do things that you all are interested in. So we want to hear from you. What types of events, what types of careers are you exploring? What do you feel like you need to close in terms of skill gaps in your professional career? And then we can help put on those events for you. We have something called the Science Scoop, and that's relaunching in fall. So that's an opportunity to write science for general audience. It's a student-led blog where you can build a portfolio if you want to go towards science communication. And you have that opportunity published to become a peer editor, a junior editor, a managing editor as part of that initiative. So there are lots of other benefits of becoming a GPS STEM member. But that's essentially what our program is. We're just here to support you within that career and professional development so you can explore. I'm sure some of you know maybe one or two pathways you can maybe take with the degree you're getting, but you don't know the other 20 that you could possibly move into. And so this will help you do that and take off some of that pressure that you feel as you're going through. Okay. So this is just our contact information. Like I said, I'm the program director. Kalani checked you in. She's our admin officer. You might hear from her. She's in the back waving. You have a familiar face. But let us know how we can help support you. There is another QR code on the back table over there if you do want to fill out a membership form. We're checking to see if you're a member. You can just fill that out, give us your name and email, and we'll let you know if you're a member or what you still need to do to complete membership. But other than that, what I want to take our time today to do is also to share we are a great source for career and professional development, and we're specifically for the STEM schools for scientists. We gear everything for you all, but we have fantastic partners on campus that we work with, and I want you to know about them as well because you should be doing all the things that are available to you as students and postdocs to support that transition for career and professional development. So I want to bring up my colleagues. Is Jill here? Yeah. Okay. Karen, would you like to go first? So Karen works over at GPSRC. Anyone been to GPSRC? Yeah. Okay. All right. Karen, you got the audience.
Hello, everyone. My name is Karen Freelander, and I'm the operations manager in the Graduate and Postdoctoral Scholar Resource Center. It is a really long name, so we like to call it the GPSRC. And you should have received an email last night called the GPSRC Weekly. You saw that amongst all the crazy emails you get from campus. Some head nods. This is my plug to please open that email. You get a ton of them, but once a week, check on that email. I believe it says it comes from Graduate Division, but it's called GPSRC Weekly. And we post in there a number of different professional development, personal development, workshops, certificate programs, different fellowship opportunities, all things that we partner and collaborate on. So just give a little peek in there. I like to say that a lot of our programs are unique because then you get to mix and mingle with folks outside of your own programs. And so we also in Graduate Division run a program called Accelerate to Industry. And I see some familiar faces in the room that completed that program last year. And what's unique about that is you also get to mix and mingle with folks that are in non-STEM programs that are looking to go into industry positions as well. So it's a really unique opportunity, again, just to have a meeting of the minds and meet all you wonderful folks that are in programs across UCI. By show of hand, are there postdocs in the room or mostly grad students here? Any postdocs? Okay, a few. So my partner in crime, Dr. Kaylee Anderson Natali, wasn't able to make it today, so she gave me a few things to shout out for postdocs. So there's Post-Oktoberfest that is coming October 8th. There's going to be a donut breakfast, 9:30 to 11 in the GPSRC. There's a postdoc association meeting on Friday at 12, so check your email and you're encouraged to attend that. And then for postdocs specifically, you can meet with Kaylee one-on-one for advising for fellowships, but also career application materials. She'll hear from the Division of Career Pathways, which is specifically for just grad students, but postdocs are able to use Kaylee and our services at the GPSRC. We have bagel breakfast tomorrow, 10 to 11, so please come over. My favorite color is green. And I hope to see you at GPS STEM programs and all of the other programs that we have here at UCI. Welcome to UCI and congratulations to those that are continuing on the journey and that are close to finishing up. And now I'm going to pass it to Jill.
Karen.
Jill Wells.
Give it up for Karen. GPSRC. I still say that. Yeah, it is. Hi, everybody. My name's Jill. I thought I would see some familiar faces. Maybe I see one or two. How many of you guys are familiar with the Division of Career Pathways? Raise your hand if you use that's awesome. Okay, great. So some of this will be a review, but hopefully you'll take away a couple nuggets as well. I am advisor for graduate education at the Division of Career Pathways, and that is the department at UCI where you can go for any career related needs, regardless of whether you are just starting out your graduate program or you're graduating and you want to get a job, or you're thinking about internships, you're not sure about whether you should go into academia or industry. You can count on us to kind of go with you along that journey and support you with whatever resources we have. So I don't know if you guys were at the orientation table yesterday, but my colleague Max, who is a graduate peer advisor, he was there with wheels spinning. I heard it was really popular. I gave little candy and some stuff. He is kind of my partner in crime. He also is does advising, and Max and I take 45-minute appointments Monday to Friday. We do mostly virtual, but we'll accommodate in person if you want to come to the Division of Career Pathways. How many of you guys are on Handshake? Okay, so you all should have a Handshake account. Handshake is basically one of the platforms that DCP uses. Well, it is the platform that DCP uses for job postings, employer announcements, career fair registration, all that good stuff, workshops. There's also 1220, which is for grad students. Hopefully you'll join both because you can make appointments with me and Max in Handshake. If you're not on Handshake, I recommend you go in and set up your profile because that's where you're going to find all those sorts of things about research. I have handouts on the back table, but I don't know if I'm broad enough, so I can email the handout to Lauren. But this is basically our fall navigator. It's a two-pager that kind of talks about the workshops that we have this fall, as well as some of our on-demand resources. And I'll just share with you really quickly. We have a career fair. Every quarter we have a career fair. Tomorrow, the day after tomorrow is our first career fair on Ring Road, and there's companies ranging from like American Airlines to Cal Optimus to some others. We have a STEM fair on October 17th. It's probably more relevant to you guys. And there's going to be lots of employers looking for grad students for internships as well as full-time positions. Maybe even decent industry postdoc, I'm not sure, but you can find out all about the employers, do some research and figure out what they're hiring for by going to Handshake and looking up the career fair. So I recommend just checking them out, even if you're not interested in getting a job. It's good just to know what's there. It's good to introduce yourself, and it's good public speaking practice for you if you're not networking and doing that already. So we also have workshops on a regular basis. As Karen mentioned, A2I, Accelerate to Industry. I'm doing a couple of their workshops in front of them, which will be great. And the first, you already talked about the foundations. Okay, well, I won't spill the beans, but there's a great career series coming up, and maybe some of you all have registered for it. It's called Career Foundation Series, and that's this fall as well. And then, so beyond the professoriate, are any of you guys familiar with that? Yeah, okay, great. Beyond the professoriate, for those of you who don't know what it is, it's an online training platform for graduate students, postdocs, even some professors use it, and it's to help you make the transition from your studies to either academia or industry. The thing that's so great about it is that there is a lot of on-demand content, but there are also live webinars. There are self-inventories and assessments that you could take to figure out where you are, where you want to go, which I think is really important if you haven't done that. There's also a lot of different types of workshops. So everything from how to manage your overwhelm during this academic year to how to network when you don't have a network. Plus, there are some great interviews with advanced degree professionals across all industries. They're just like maybe 10-minute verbs, but it's great. It gives you an idea of all the things you could do if, let's say, you're a STEM person, but maybe you're interested in science communication. You'll go and look at those interviews and say, oh, I could do technical writing, I could be a reporter, I could do all sorts of things.
So I definitely recommend checking out Beyond the Professoriate. The other thing I recommend checking out is Big Interview, which is an AI platform for those of you who might be preparing for interviews. It has a lot of great information. You can do a mock interview. You can record yourself doing a single camera interview. It has a database of questions across all industries. I was just looking at it today, and there's one for AI and machine learning that are really specific technical questions. There's also little fast track and mastery curriculum, like lessons, I guess, if you will. So I recommend checking that out. You can also get to that from our website, career.uci.edu. Imagine PhD is really not STEM focused, but you can link to it from our website, and there are some really good resources there. It's for the arts and sciences, but they do have great assessments on values, interests, and skills, and they also have 15 different job families with all sorts of great resources, ranging from professional associations you can join to job simulations to sample cover letters, resume, and all that good stuff. So my
I forgot.
you guys have any questions?
Make use of Jill. These are fantastic resources. You don't have much time to just get 45 minutes to sit down with a career expert and review documents, talk about your planning. And so really use her and Max. Fantastic resource.
Yeah, I wish Max was here, but he's amazing. And we also post our open slots on Thursday afternoons, Thursday evenings. So if you go on to Handshake and you don't see an appointment, you can go back up to Thursday night or Friday morning and you should see more availability. If you can't find an appointment, you can always email me and we can figure something out.
Thank you, Jill.
If we're going for a resource to share with you, since you have dedicated an hour to career professional development, I want you to be sure you have all the resources. So my host, welcome for Hosna. Hi everyone. Yes, can you hear me? I'm host Sheikha Aslami. I am the graduate and postdoctoral writing coordinator here at UCI. I'm new to UCI and I'm new, and this position is new. And the reason that that's significant is because it basically indicates that UCI is committed to ramp up support for graduate and postdoctoral student writers. So we're inaugurating the Graduate Writing Club, which is the graduate arm of the Writing Center here at UCI. And we have several services that may be of interest to you, and maybe different services might interest you at different stages of your career. So our basic charge is to provide writing and communication support to grad students, and we do so through a variety of ways, although I would say one of the primary ways we do that is through free one-on-one consultations. So if you download Zop Consult, which is unique to UCI, you can book a 30 or 60-minute appointment with one of our writing consultants. There's a training to provide feedback and engage in dialogue about your writing with you. And you can submit really any piece of writing at any stage. So it could be a blank page because you're stuck and you don't know how to title an assignment. It could be a grant or fellowship application, job application material, or obviously articles, research, class assignments. And really, again, at any stage, can help you tackle writing apprehension or figuring out sort of a plan to sort of manage or handle your programming. We also provide different kinds of avenues to write in the community. That includes writing groups, which are really aimed at sort of folks in the dissertating stage, but we also are running these writing rooms and camps weekly, and throughout the quarter we have longer boot camps, and these are just hybrid spaces, so you can attend either in person or virtually, or you can show up. The schedule will be up on our site by the end of this week. You can show up, we share your goals, group of writers, and then you work for 2 hours. So it's a way of body doubling and keeping yourself accountable. And finally, we have workshops, and just want to plug Our upcoming workshops this fall, this is a collaboration between us and the UCI libraries, in which we're really thinking, so this series is targeted to first years, but I think open and useful for folks at other stages too. And really we're trying to think about how to read and handle your readings, and by that we mean physically, like manage them on your computer in order to set yourself up to write more successfully down the road. Sometimes early in graduate school, you encounter a lot of readings and you don't really know where your research is headed. You don't know how to handle them or what to look at when you're reading them. And so these are some of the questions that we're trying to tackle through this series. And some of them are hands-on. Some are just a lot more strategy, and some we're thinking about some sort of higher level questions in terms of what is the literature review and what is the purpose. I should also add all of our writing appointments are available in person and online, and if you want to meet with our consultants in person, we're located on the first floor of the picture show of the Science Library. There's I would like to thank you. I love supporting and working with grad student writers, and there are flyers both to introduce the center and then one with our workshop information. If you want to grab one on your way out. Thank you, Ashley. So that's probably like a fire hose of information of different resources on top of learning more about GPS STEM, but we all do work collaboratively together, and we have a lot of fingertips as a graduate student post. But it can be overwhelming, and so feel free to reach out anytime. If you're just what can I do? I'm lost and I want help in this area. You can always feel free to reach out to yourself, Jill, Karen, any of us, and we'll point you all in the right direction. I do want to take the next couple minutes to invite up to our training council members, who are just going to share a little bit about their professional career journeys, their journey at UCI, and their involvement with GPS STEM. So we'll have Tessa maybe come up first. Okay, well, I wasn't expecting to come first.
Yes, okay. I guess I just need to talk louder. Hello. So my name is Tessa, and I am a third-year PhD student in the School of Medicine. So I just wanted to mention that I joined GPSM pretty early in my first year during orientation. And it was quite this time that I knew I wanted to become a part of industry, but I was frankly just lost, confused, and overwhelmed with the number of options I had available to me, because for a long time I was just told, you got academia or you got industry. Pick one, choose one. But there's just so much to industry besides R&D, which is what I'm sure a lot of us are familiar with. So after joining GPS STEM, I participated in a wide variety of these programs, certifications, these good things that helped clarify this path ahead of me, because sometimes it's better to know what you don't like rather than what you do. It's more helpful. So for example, during my first year, I participated in a mentorship program where I was paired with somebody in industry who was an alumni that I still speak to this day, who is in project management, since that was something I was considering working in. And through hearing about the day-to-day routine, how they entered that position, I found that path forward to be still viable. And I think all of these still interested in pursuing that forward, so that was great. But we have the other hand where I did something like the Industry Insights with STEM Scientist course. Chemleaks gives you an idea of how to be more of an entrepreneur, pitching a project, and you actually give a presentation to some experts. Great program, just not for me. I knew I definitely wasn't going to be an entrepreneur, not built for that, and that's okay. So I guess what I wanted to kind of bring this together is I'm going into my third year. I still haven't found that dream job by any means, but I'm a lot more informed than I was when I first started. And I think with the number of things I've participated in through GPS STEM, leading a training council and putting on events that I know myself, people who are early in their career, but also people who are later on thinking job fairs I find useful. So I guess if you're in your first, second year, I especially encourage you to just join us, see what we're up to, because it's really never too early or too late thinking about these kinds of things. In worst case, you get a free meal. So that's good.
Can I just ask a question while you have the floor?
Do I get back on the floor?
Back on the floor.
Get back on the floor.
So you started participating in GPS STEM in your first year in the CB program, and you did quite a bit and even more in your second year. I always used to tell students, you shouldn't start in your first year. You have plenty of other things you have to accomplish, like finding a lab, passing your classes, adjusting to grad school. I've seen at least one of our current first year CMB students, and after seeing your success and how helpful it's been, I'm really starting to think I need to change that advice. But how did you manage everything, and did any of your other cohort do that and run into any problems with time management?
Yeah, so that's definitely a really good question. And I remember hearing your advice of like, maybe hold on. And it's for a good reason because you got a lot that you during first year. At least in my program, you have rotations, you got an exam at the end, and you're just adapting and doing your project every 10 weeks. It's really a lot. And that's fair advice. But I think for me and some of my other cohort members who tend to be a bit more forward thinking and we just want to be prepared for the future because we're all very anxious about that. We just decided to kind of keep it pretty low, just attending events that caught our attention, mostly things to kind of look up our, I guess, soft skill book, because there's a lot of things that go for academic industry that are soft skills that nobody really tells you. It's a whole black box. So I just started things that were more broad, networking, just kind of getting a feel for what I could do feasibly. So a lot of these were like, okay, maybe 1 month I'll attend one event. So keeping a really good timeline of like what I would like to do, what I know I can handle as I went through my first year. And I think by the end I got a good feel of like, okay, I can reasonably handle this much. I feel ready to take the next step forward and be a training council member. So a lot of it was just trial and error. I definitely did overload a lot during first year and I was super burnt out by the end of my first quarter. But after that I was like, okay, I know that can help me path forward. So that's a question.
Thanks, Tessa. I like how it just go back right out the industry insights, which is renamed this business STEM insights for STEM PhDs, and that's going to happen in winter. But these are things that our program will put on and opportunities for you to be like, is entrepreneurship right for me? In a very not necessarily committal. You commit to the certificate series, but it's not risky other than that, right? If you get to try it out, see if it's what you like, if that's a path you want to explore further, or if you're like, nope, now I know I don't want to go that direction. So there's really good opportunities for you to explore through GPS on that. All right, so next up we have Han, who's going to share a little bit of her journey as well.
Yeah. Hello, everyone. My name is Han. I'm from the physical science, and I am working on organic chemistry synthesis, and this is my year, yearly. So I actually came from Vietnam. I came here during high school, not knowing what I want to do or what I need to do, and just still trying to figure out or learn about myself. And that's when I went to community college and joined the MSEP program for myself. And that's where I started to learn more about science and what else I can do in science. And then I transferred to UC San Diego, participated in the STAR program and also UC Bates program. And these programs are also helping me with career development, learning more about PhD and what I can do to get into a PhD program. And I had the opportunity to work with Professor Don Teeley at Berkeley because UCB paid for me to work in the summer, and also with my professor, Carrie Engel at the Scripps Research Institute. And after that, and I actually decided to take a gap year to work at Amgen as a process development associate. And then I go to UCI for my PhD degrees. And here I actually struggled in the beginning because my parents or none of my family came from science background. They're just like farm workers or seasonal workers. So no one have any idea what I can do, or like my dad's even worried about me cannot do a PhD because he think that it's too difficult for me. And then at that time I learned about GPS STEM and then other programs where I can learn how to get my skills, my soft skills to talk to people. And that's when I participated in a lot of events like resume building or career development, or also like how to start small talks. And because I usually have like, subconsciously I'm always nervous talking to people because I always worry that people wouldn't understand what I'm talking about. And it's very challenging for me to like get up and say hi, Liz, because I I just like don't have confidence in myself. And then by participating in the GPS STEM program, that's actually given me a lot more confidence because everyone here are eager to learn and eager to help everyone else. So I'm even less intimidated. And then because of that, then the more I talk to strangers, the more I can become more natural talking to other people. And then now I'm council members where I can help organizing events, thinking about what ideas we can do and how to make an event more meaningful for people. So that's and this summer I actually had the opportunity to intern at Merck as well, and that's also a challenge. And then that's where GPS STEM, the skills that I got from GPS STEM helped me overcoming that challenge because I have to navigating between like participating in a lot of meetings and also doing research. And I feel like a lot of the things that I learned from GPS STEM helped me to do that and overcome the challenges.
And brought up people and not directly, but how does one participate in a panel about having internships during your PhD time? And so that's happening in October, and there's a sign, a flyer back there to register for that. And I worked at Amden. We also have Amden coming this Thursday to hear about a grad specific internship opportunity that they have for folks in STEM. And so that flyer is also back there. So Todd has made use of the different opportunities in GPS STEM. David's also figured out how to give a short talk, which Tom talked about utilizing as well, and that's going to happen this fall. And there's a flyer back there. So as you can see, for both Tessa and Con, just being able to put yourself out there and engage with like-minded folks who are forward-thinking, wanting to think about how their time here in the skies to impact them once they leave. We're happy to hear thinking about GPS STEM on that place to find folks. Any questions for Con? Okay, well, thanks for having me. Okay. So we just have a few more minutes, and one thing that I want to share is about the science group, which I mentioned earlier. And we have our managing editor who is not here. It's terrible. Don't have it downloaded. But there we go. This is our science group. They're writing interviews for STEM PhDs and postdocs. You can share advice. So like if you did do an internship or you started GPS STEM in your first year, what would not like to manage that? They are actively recruiting, and Tessa is our junior editor for the science group. They're actually recruiting for writers. So either just want to write a one-off piece, we have someone who's did an internship is going to write about what it was like to do an internship during the fall term out across the country. Or if you were like, I really want to interview someone and you want to write about it, about what they do in their career journey, you can do that. Or they're also recruiting for peer editors. So if you want to really engage in science communication, build up your portfolio, have it on your CV that you're a peer editor and you're reviewing articles and working in that teaching space, have a peer editor and working on professional development events to help increase your skills in that area as well. So if you're interested in learning more about the science group participating, you can use that QR code and we will reach out and share more of how to get involved. Okay. And the last thing I want to share, I had it up in this presentation, so I can change it again as it goes through and we can chat about it. But we do have we set a ton of events that go on, but we know that you're busy. And so we do try to, and we're doing it right now, live stream or record some of our events. For instance, a really popular event David put on last spring was to do a postdoc or not to do a postdoc. And that one we record and we have it up on our YouTube page. And so you can go back and watch. Or it might not have been relevant, last spring, but maybe it's now. And so we have a ton of resources. A ton of life on the PhDs, which are essentially informational interviews with people who are in various career paths, and that you can go onto our website or YouTube page and look through some of those resources. And so here's more about the things. was talking about it. But that's essentially all we have planned for today. David, is there anything else that you want to share out with folks?
I think so.
Okay. Who's already a member? You've already signed up to be a TPS member. Get it yet? Okay, a few of you. Great. If you want to learn more or get involved, feel free to scan the QR code, let us know, and we can get you on our newsletter and share out events. And kind of like Tessa said, it's a la carte. You can choose the things you want to participate in when they're going to be most meaningful to you, and reach out to us if you have any questions. Okay? Well, thanks for joining. Feel free to hang out, grab flyers. If you need more food, feel free to grab them. But thanks for coming.